Every day, millions of people look up at the sky and see them, those strange, lingering trails crisscrossing the blue canvas above us. To most, they appear as harmless airplane contrails, nothing more than condensation from jet engines.
Oh.
They are a fleeting thought, a simple part of the backdrop of our modern world. But what if those lines are something far more sinister? What if they are chemical trails, chemtrails, part of a covert government program designed to control, manipulate, and poison us all? This isn't just a question. It's a terrifying possibility that has been ignored, ridiculed, and systematically covered up for decades. The chemtrail theory has long been dismissed by authorities and the mainstream media as a baseless conspiracy, a fringe belief held by a few paranoid individuals. Yet the mountain of evidence from eyewitnesses, independent scientists, and whistleblowers paints a starkly different and deeply disturbing picture. Why would so many people around the world, from all walks of life, notice the same strange patterns in the sky and report the same odd weather and health changes? Could this be a secret operation, hiding in plain sight, using our very atmosphere as its testing ground? The sky is not what it seems. It all begins with the skies above. Unlike normal contrails, the short-lived vapor trails that dissipate quickly behind a jet engine, chemtrails are different. They linger for hours, defying the laws of physics that govern natural condensation. These trails don't dissipate. They morph and expand, spreading out to form a mysterious milky white haze that blankets the atmosphere. This haze often obscures the sun, alters cloud formations, and changes the very color of the sky. But what exactly is in this strange haze, and who is responsible for spraying it? Insiders and independent researchers claim that these chemtrails are not harmless. Water vapor, but a carefully engineered cocktail of toxic substances. They point to evidence of high levels of aluminum, barium, strontium, and other heavy metals being found in soil, water, and air samples immediately following these spraying events. Even more alarmingly, some claim these trails contain biologically active materials and nanoparticles engineered for purposes we can only begin to imagine. Sprayed at high altitudes, these chemicals could affect air quality, human health, and even the global climate itself. What could possibly justify such a dangerous, large-scale, unconsented experiment on the entire human population? The official story, the one you'll find in government reports and mainstream media, is a narrative of geoengineering. They'll tell you it's a noble effort to combat climate change by spraying reflective particles into the atmosphere to block sunlight. Sounds plausible, right? A public-facing solution to a global problem? But this narrative doesn't explain the obsessive secrecy, the lack of public debate or consent, or the growing number of respiratory diseases, neurological disorders, and unexplained illnesses reported worldwide. If this is a scientific solution, where is the transparency? Where are the open debates and the informed consent of the public? The secrecy itself is the most compelling piece of evidence. Scientists and environmentalists who dare to question the chemtrail narrative face ridicule, censorship, threats, or worse. Their funding dries up, their reputations are destroyed, and their careers are ended. Yet many independent studies have detected abnormal levels of these specific metals and chemicals in soil, rainwater, and even human blood in areas frequently subjected to these strange trails. Are we witnessing the aftermath of a covert, large-scale poisoning, a slow-acting plan of environmental and biological control? The historical precedent and the Black Project? To understand the present, we must look to the past. Leaked military documents and declassified files hint at aerosol dispersal programs dating back decades. These documents, though often cloaked in classified language and vague terminology, describe experiments designed to control weather, manipulate populations, and even test biological agents in open-air environments. These aren't just theories. They're documented operations like Project Cirrus in the 1940s, Project Stormfury in the 1960s, and Project Popeye during the Vietnam War, where cloud seeding was used to extend the monsoon season and disrupt enemy supply lines. The concept of weather warfare is not science fiction. It is a documented reality. The question is, how has this technology evolved, and is it being used on us today? Imagine a world where the sky itself becomes a weapon, vast, invisible chemical factory operated by governments and shadow organizations. A world where you have no escape from the pollution because it's falling from above. spraying substances designed to weaken the population, suppress cognitive function, or even influence behavior through nanoparticles that can interfere with the human nervous system. The implications are terrifying, and they point to a level of control that surpasses anything George Orwell ever envisioned. This is not about winning a war with another country. It's about controlling the population at home. Some brave whistleblowers from within the military and government have come forward, risking their lives and careers to reveal the truth. They describe sophisticated, unmarked aircraft equipped with specialized nozzles and tanks designed to disperse chemtrails on a global scale. They talk about missions coordinated in complete secrecy, with pilots often unaware of the full scope or purpose of the payloads they are carrying. These accounts, though often dismissed, provide a terrifying look inside a black project of unimaginable scale. The health and environmental impact. The health impact of these programs is alarming. A global surge in respiratory diseases, neurological disorders, and autoimmune conditions has been reported with no clear singular cause. Are these health crises connected to the cocktail of chemicals raining down from above? Many believe so. The fine particulate matter in these chemtrails can be easily inhaled, lodging in our lungs and bloodstream and delivering toxic payloads directly into our bodies. Beyond health, chemtrails appear to influence the weather itself. Eyewitnesses around the world report unusual droughts in some areas and sudden violent storms in others. Could this be weather warfare in action, creating droughts to manipulate agriculture and economies, or cooling periods to alter the climate for political or strategic gain? The power to control the weather is the power to control nations. The secrecy surrounding chemtrails is staggering, but it's understandable when you consider the possible fallout. Official agencies deny the existence of such programs, destroy evidence, and use every tool at their disposal to silence dissent. They count on public indifference and the ridicule of a complicit media. But the trails remain visible for all to see, an open secret hiding in plain sight. They are a monument to our collective denial. Could chemtrails be part of a larger plan, a step in a global agenda designed to reshape society under the guise of environmentalism? The connections between chemtrails and other controversial programs like 5G, mass vaccination campaigns, and advanced surveillance technologies raise disturbing questions about a coordinated effort to control every aspect of our lives, from the air we breathe to the thoughts we think. The role of corporations in this conspiracy is also critical. Aerospace companies, chemical manufacturers, and private contractors all profit from these programs. This creates a cycle of secrecy and profit, where powerful interests are aligned in keeping the truth buried, all at the expense of public health and safety. Tracking flight patterns and analyzing chemical samples reveal patterns that are too consistent to be coincidence. The trails crisscross over cities, military bases, strategic agricultural locations. They are never random, always targeted. The technology has advanced rapidly, with drones, high-altitude jets, and nanotechnology combining to deliver precise payloads with devastating efficiency. The fight for truth. The mainstream media largely ignores or mocks chemtrail theories, maintaining a veil of silence. This forces independent journalists and citizen scientists to become the frontline investigators, risking censorship, harassment, and public ridicule to get the word out. They are the true guardians of truth in a world of manufactured consent. The question of consent becomes urgent. We are all victims of an unconsented global experiment with unknown and potentially catastrophic consequences. Public awareness is growing, but so is the misinformation designed to confuse and divide us. Separating fact from fiction is crucial in this fight for the truth. The environmental impacts extend far beyond human health. Ecosystems are suffering under the weight of toxic fallout. Plant life, animal habitats, and entire biomes are being altered and destroyed by chemical exposure. With cascading effects on the entire food chain, the health of the planet is at stake, and we are told to ignore the very things we can see in the sky. Some brave individuals are pursuing radical solutions, from legal battles to public protests, demanding transparency from governments worldwide. But the entrenched secrecy and the power behind chemtrail programs make resistance difficult and dangerous. The psychological impact of all this is profound. Living under skies laced with poison creates fear, anxiety, and a deep-seated distrust in authority, breaking down social cohesion in creating an atmosphere ripe for control. It's a form of psychological warfare, making us feel powerless and paranoid. The parallels to historical covert programs like MKUltra and the Tuskegee syphilis study highlight a chilling pattern of government secrecy and unethical experimentation on citizens. It has happened before, so why wouldn't it be happening now on a grander, more technological scale? What would happen if the full truth about chemtrails were exposed? The implications for governments and corporations would be enormous, potentially catastrophic. It would be a revelation so profound it would shatter our faith in our institutions forever. Yet, truth has a way of breaking through. Whistleblowers, leaked documents, and brave citizen scientists continue to chip away at the veil of secrecy. The fight against chemtrail poisoning is a fight for the very air we breathe, the skies we depend on, and the future of life on Earth. Awareness, investigation, and courage are the only weapons we have in this battle against silence and deception. So next time you look up and see those trails cutting across the sky, remember there might be far more behind those lines than you realize. The skies are not what they seem, and the truth is waiting to be uncovered, if only we are brave enough to look for it.